oh, so where is the next baby shower? You know? And I'm like, okay, that's a bit insensitive. Especially when they look at everyone else and they don't see you as an option of a baby shower.
Oh my
You
God,
get that?
that's hurtful, yes.
Yes. So, is there something in there? Is there something? They ask everyone else and I'm just...
They don't ask you.
No, I am not asked because ni kama miaka imeenda. Yes, 7, I actually got like a bit depressed and I got to a point, I see a pregnant woman and I ask God, why are you making them pregnant and not me? I stopped visiting, you know, like baby showers. No, I stopped that. Or kwenda kusalimia mtoto. I was like, this is depressing me. So for about a year and a half, I didn't. Then I asked, I told myself, I'm being very selfish. God's time will come. Why am I feeling vibaya for the rest? I got back to myself again. So I tell her, just do it. But yeah, it's not a concern for me. Do you know, wonder of wonders, the doctor calls me later, like 15 minutes later, and says, now starts questioning me, maswali zile za clinic mzuri tu. For how long have you been married? Have you ever been pregnant? When is your last period? And I'm like, where is this heading? And he says, you know, we've just done the test and you're pregnant.
For 16 years, Dickson and Judy have been waiting and praying for a child. And today, this baby blessing is their answered prayer. Welcome to today's episode of My Story. My name is Yvonne Kawira, and Dickson and Judy will tell us what happened after they wedded and the journey through getting baby blessing. Karibu sana.
My names are Dickson Nyanyuki. I hail from Nyamira.
Okay.
My parents are James Nyanyuki and Jen Kerabi from Mutagara village in Nyamira. But we stay in Mosocho. This is my wife.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Judy. I'm the wife.
My
name is Judy. Nyabuga is our surname. I come from Nyamira also, Nyaramba. But I grew up in Nakuru. Yeah, and currently we're staying in Mosocho. My parents are Ezekiel Atoni, my dad, and my late mom, Elizabeth Mora.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you two meet? Please tell me.
Personally, I also schooled in Nakuru at secondary school and part of primary school. And later when I joined the university, I was still staying in Nakuru. With my uncle, Isaiah Makori, and my aunt Monica Makori. So I stayed in Nakuru for quite a long time. And because she was born in Nakuru, I used to be very active in church, especially in the youth department. That is how we met. We met at a function, at a church function. We had gone for a music rally that was that involved all the churches in Nakuru. And it was held at Egerton University. That is when I saw her. And I can tell you, when I saw her like this, those qualities I had been praying for our wife, I saw them in her.
She saw them before. He saw them before interacting with me. Can you imagine that? For interesting.
What are some of the things you saw?
The way she was dressed, the way she was walking, and just the physical appearance. I think it just attracted me. God provided an opportunity. When they had come in, we had already sat. Our choir came first, and all the other choirs had come. I think they came late. So they found that the hall was almost full. So where I was seated, as they were coming, I got an opportunity to to move a bit and
to give me
tell
space.
her to sit next to me.
Can you imagine?
And then I think there's something that she did that opened for me an opportunity to converse with her. She was outgoing, so because she knew the friends I was sitting with, it's like she introduced them and said, this is so and so, this is so and so, this is so and so, and so who are you? Because she didn't know me.
Oh, okay.
But that's how God wanted us to meet and start the conversation. And so I didn't lose the opportunity.
You grabbed it by its horn.
Do you know the interesting thing? We were both in Nakuru, but we never met while studying. He studied his primary years in Nakuru. I studied in Nakuru. Secondary, we actually were in the same school different years, so we never met in secondary. And then we met after secondary. No, that was
after I'd gone to university, when I was the final year of my university,
and when
she's going to university, that is when we met.
What about him? What qualities about him drew you to him?
I think I just saw a unique person, one, and then he's amidst my friends, and I don't know him. How come I've not met him? And these are all my friends, you know. So as is said, I was like, my name is Judy, and this is. So who are you? I think I was looking for an opportunity to know him better.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. So, and it followed. I remember 2 weeks after that we met, and somehow I'd forgotten his second name. Interesting. But I could remember the first and the first name, and he got annoyed. How can I forget his? His second name, and he had to remind me Nyanyuki. He said, do you know the town Nyanyuki? Right. You just add a Y between the N and the A, and that is my name. And don't forget again.
Never forget it, because it's going to be your name too. This guy had plans.
Imagine.
I didn't imagine how she could forget my name. I had seen her wife.
And imagine that. So how long did you date before you decided now it's time for marriage?
Wow.
We dated for about 2 years, getting to know him, and I was actually hesitant because I was just starting university, and I'm like, you know, when you grow up, you're told wanaume ni wabaya, avoid men. So I'm like, huyu anataka kuniharibia masomo, you know, in as much as I liked him, but hapana, ataniharibia masomo. So I was really hesitant. Then after 2 years, I was like, okay, but still, no, I didn't officially kubali ati now we can go out. But he did this. Ebu sema what you did.
What did you do?
I persisted. And we stayed for quite some time after that. I think she was fearing that a relationship will spoil her life. That's how we are.
But towards the end of my university, I said, enyewe, we can officially. Ile ingine ilikuwa kujaribu tu. This is now official. We can officially, you know, just date and have plans for marriage.
So from the time we knew each other up to the time we married, it took 7 years.
Yeah. From the time tulionana face to face, ile wow moment, to down the aisle, 7 years.
And you get approval from your parents?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
When I was graduating, that's when she was in first year.
Yeah.
So I invited her for my graduation. And so my parents were there. And because my parents had never seen me with anybody else, when they saw her, they knew this is the one. This is the person.
And you know, when I went because he was graduating at Moi University, and I had several other friends that I didn't interacted with them. I knew him last from all those, like that list of friends. He's the one I knew last, but he was closer than, I think I loved him even before I told him. So I went for the graduation. And I was in my head, and I'm going for that graduation because it's not only him after all. There are other friends. But interestingly, I just get to the gate like this, and guess who receives me? It is him. I didn't even get to meet anyone else.
Wow. How was it meeting his parents the first time? Were you nervous?
I was nervous. I was like, oh God, this is even beyond introduction. How am I? Because he just received me and took me directly to where the parents were seated. And then the parents did something interesting. So they were seated, father and mother. Then they created a seat in between them for me to sit. And I was like, oh my God. So I didn't even know how to behave between parents. I've never met them. He didn't tell me he's taking me to, and then I was like, what is the objective of this guy? I came for graduation, not to meet parents. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's how God purposed it. From that graduation, I never saw them again until now, when we started wedding plans.
Okay.
But it was fun.
The wedding was fun.
No. The meeting of parents day one.
Oh yeah.
It's not an easy experience.
On the day of your wedding, as you're walking down the aisle, what was running through your mind when you seen him, your husband, to be like waiting for you at the altar? What was going
I was the happiest girl. The happiest, because I was like, finally I get to have him for life, you know. In between Apo, niseme. In between Apo, there's a time, I think, when he got really serious, like he actually wants a serious relationship. I'm in school, and I was like, no, if it's getting to that, then we'd rather acha to talk, you know. I missed him actually, and I'm the one who made that. I missed him kabisa. And I'm like, so who is he with? Is there someone else, you know? And then there's that insecurity. When you love someone, you really want them for yourself.
Yes.
But you're like, okay, if it's going to affect my life, I don't want that to happen. So after that, when we got back together, he tells me, alikutana na another lady. So tell me your story.
Yes. I had met another lady. Because,
can you imagine?
Because she had indicated it as if I want to spoil her life.
You don't want to spoil her life.
But now I had not committed myself to that lady. In fact, the day we met, we had scheduled a meeting now with the other lady.
That is after now when he decided, no, let me try one more time. He actually came home, and then we made a date for the following day, and I was going to meet him. Now I meet him, and then he tells me, yeah, we are meeting, but you know, there's someone else I was going to meet today at this time.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? I said, but you wait for me. I'm going to meet the person, and I'm coming back.
Did you allow this to happen?
What choice did I have?
So as you're waiting here for him to come back, what's going through your mind? Like, what's happening?
I'm like, okay, this is a very... No, he told me clearly. I'm not sure. Did you tell me the truth? That
yes,
the lady was pressuring you?
We had already decided that
we're now getting serious for marriage.
We are getting serious with the relationship. But now, before we do that, I had to clear with the other. Because we had not started a serious relationship with the lady. So I had to go and clear the issue, tell her I had a relationship. It's only that
it is revived now. Can you imagine that?
We had a break.
Yes.
Now
break is over.
Now the break is over. I'm sorry, we cannot start.
I wouldn't have wished to.
I could have. It was because she was also from church, so I didn't want to break her heart.
Did she take it well?
She didn't take it kindly because she had seen some hope in me.
Can you imagine? I wouldn't want to be in.
It was a frustration on her part, but it was the reality. So I had to tell her that.
Yeah.
And actually we finished at that, and I came back and I told her that now that one is over.
It's good you are honest.
Yeah. That's a quality I totally loved, and he's still honest up to now.
That's good.
Unless you change it.
Unless she changes me.
Too late now. I mean,
no, but that's a quality I totally loved, because I'm imagining someone else would not have told me that.
Yeah.
They would have just gone ahead with me, yet there's someone else that is waiting, or go ahead with the other one as they are keeping me packing. But I wouldn't really wish to be in that kind of situation. But yeah, so as I'm walking down the aisle, like, yeah, God, thank you for bringing this day. I'm seeing someone I would wish to be the father of my children, to be by my side until, you know, when I'm taking my last breath, he's there, you know. A friend, kabisa. I saw that, and I was excited that finally the day has come.
Yeah. Wow. And you were watching her coming down towards you?
Yeah, sure.
What are you imagining now?
I was so happy because I knew the long wait has been rewarded. Because 7 years
Yes, it's a long
was
time.
not a short time. They are friends. In fact, when I told them about our relationship, and she was in first year, and they were saying, you can't be serious, man. Will you wait for her to finish? They didn't believe that I can wait for her to finish.
You proved them wrong.
Education when you get married. But by the grace of God, I was able to wait for her, and I was happy that I gotten the person I needed.
Wow. Actually, remember, he was smiling all through, and he made me smile all through. You know, sometimes the way the brides can shed tears.
Yes.
I didn't shed tears.
You're just excited. This is it.
Yeah, and I was happy. He was happy, I was happy, and yeah, that's when I look at that video now, I'm like, yeah, we were really happy to get together.
Wow.
It was also an excitement for the church, Nakuru West Everyday Church. That's where we did our wedding. When we look at it, it was really an excitement for everybody. Yeah, so we were grateful.
And then we had friends. By then he was working in Embu. I was working in Oyugis. And then we were planning our church our wedding in Nakuru Church. We had friends in Embu, Great News. It was Great News Church. We had very good friends, but married couples. They actually decided, you guys are wedding, we'll match in your wedding. Whether you like it or you don't, we'll match. And they, you know, like they planned themselves, got themselves attire and everything. Now I can make sure amekuja. Now 2 weeks to the wedding, one couple, the lady got a serious accident. Serious kabisa, ile paka miguu hizi tembea vizuri, she was on crutches. Then akasema when we were talking, akasema, Judy, Dickson, by the grace of God, I'll be in that wedding, whether in crutches or not. I'll be in that wedding. And you know, she came and she matched in crutches.
She was rooting for you.
Sure.
Yes.
At whatever cost.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really friends.
Good friends.
That's amazing. That's really amazing.
We remember that couple still, the Mr. and Mrs. Injero.
From
Great
Embu.
friends.
From Embu. Good. So after the fabulous wedding, now you enter marriage, and you know all these things are happening at the same time. There's of course, people expect when a married couple, when a man and woman get together, now there's children.
Our expectation was we've gotten married, at least the first year, no much expectation.
Yeah.
We were hoping that after the second year, we get our first baby. But God's timing was not that. It was different. So we went the first year, second year, no child, third year, no child, fourth year, no child. We were wondering what's happening. We even visited the hospital, and the doctor told us we are all okay. There's nothing wrong. At one point, we discovered she had cysts. So
I had polycystic ovarian syndrome. So I started treatment on that. Treatment. These challenges are there. Yes. You treat, and it needs you to take medication every morning and evening for a long time. At some point, I got tired. And then I'm like, it's God who gives children, you know. So if God wants us to have children, we'll have them. And then again, you remember, oh no, I can't remain like this without treating what I have and then say that it's, you know. So it has been an up and down. Of course, as he says, year 1, year 2, no worries. Year 3, year 4, year 5. Yeah, then you start getting concerned. Year 6. Year 7, I actually got like a bit depressed, and I got to a point, I see a pregnant woman and I ask God, why are you making them pregnant and not me? I stopped visiting, you know, like baby showers. No, I stopped that. Or kwenda kusalimia mtoto. I was like, this is depressing me. So for about a year and a half, I didn't. Then I asked, I told myself, I'm being very selfish. God's time will come. Why am I feeling vibaya for the rest? I got back to myself again, and life continued. And I think at that point we said, you know, if God gives us children, at his time he will. If he doesn't, then we are still okay. It's not children who define us, you know.
Yeah.
It is who we are to each other and to the rest of the people that we interact with. As we love children. We both teach children in church. The youth ministries, basically in the Adventist church, you'll find us in that. So we got back to ourselves. Basically that affected me, didn't affect him. But yeah, life continued.
Did you get pressure from your friends, the society, your in-laws?
Pressure will always be there, whether it is spoken to your face or behind your back. Whether you observe it or you don't, pressure is always there.
How did you
Friends are the worst, by the way. Friends are the worst. Do you know why? They're unconsciously insensitive.
How so?
You'll be with friends, and they're like, oh, so where is the next baby shower? You know? And I'm like, okay, that's a bit insensitive. Especially when they look at everyone else and they don't see you as an option of a baby shower.
Oh my
You
God,
get that?
that's hurtful, yes.
Yes. So, is there something in there? Is there something? They ask everyone else and I'm just...
They don't ask you.
No, I am not asked because
And
ni
they
kama
think they're
miaka imeenda. And maybe they think they're protecting me, but I think that is really insensitive. And on my part, I take it positively, like they are unconsciously insensitive. They are not even aware they're hurting me at that time. Or sometimes you meet friends, especially when we're with him, his colleagues or my friends will ask, so how old is your firstborn? People whom we've not met for quite some time, and it hits you hard. The assumption is because they know you're wedded, you have children. No one bothers to ask you, do you have children or not? No, they just say, how old is your firstborn? Ama amefika class gani? You know, that's challenging.
In fact, many times we were meeting friends and they were asking us, how many kids do you have? So the simple answer we could give, we have very many kids, but they are still in the womb.
Oh, you would explain further.
That's what we could say.
Yeah, because some would want to know where are they, and we're like, they're still in the womb. Don't worry, they're still here. Many of them. It's not one. It's not.
And if someone tells you that's in your wise, you need to know that's why you stop.
Yes.
Don't prod further because that's a sensitive issue. Wow.
But I don't think society has understood it like that, and especially when they learn you don't have children, then it becomes challenging. Friends. We actually dress the same. Ever since we got married, we dress the same. And after some time you hear people say, no, those ones are just dressing the same. They don't see that they're getting old and they have nothing, you know. They don't tell you. They'll say to friends and then it will get back to you. It hurts.
Word always gets back.
Yes.
By the time it gets to you, you're
like
told
in
things.
Africa. Yeah. Or someone comes and says, so where do you take your money and you have no children? You can imagine that kind of statement.
Like you don't even deserve money.
Yes, I don't. As in you deserve to give those who have children, not you. Or they just say, have you gone to hospital to see what the problem is? Those are even better, actually. I think they are better, those who ask you that, because they're looking for a solution.
I think many friends also out of concern, they will come and tell you, consider adoption out of concern.
Which is okay. a good thing. Because there are so many children out there without parents.
Because even our parents, I think out of concern, they suggested that. I think because of the number of years that we've stayed together without a kid, and out of the concern they want to see the grandchildren, they also suggested that, which was a good thing, but we still had hope We are Christians.
We never lost
we
hope, by the
trust
way.
God.
Wow.
And we were hoping that God will bless us at the fullness of time. And even if it were not so, still we were happy together as a couple. So I think God purposed that we stay for that long, maybe for his own purpose. So that maybe it can be an encouragement to others. It can also prove that God is faithful.
Yes.
At his
He
time.
fulfills his purposes at his will and at his own time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did this situation affect your marriage? You know, trying to find solutions to this and you know, staying together in strong, just showing a strong face together. How did this affect?
Sure. Number one, I think we tried to seek even treatment. We tried several areas to seek for treatment. But in hospital, when we were going to hospital, they were telling us everything is perfect.
Except
it's
of the cysts.
Except for those cysts.
But the interesting part of the story is there were several people praying with us.
Wow.
Praying kabisa. Others even get concerned and say, we are coming to visit with you just to pray. And then I remember 2020, when COVID just started. June, I really got sick one morning, and we went to hospital. As they were doing some scans, I said, hi guys, I think I need some uterine, ovarian scan to see whether my cysts are gone or they are, at what point are they. And interestingly, the radiographer just told me, I'm checking and I can't see anything. There's no cyst. Wow. And I'm like, I don't know when I got healed. You know, in the process of all that treatment that we've done, I don't know at what point I got healed. But then I was like, okay, that's a miracle, because I'd not even thought about doing that. But somehow, because of this illness, I did it. And we thanked God for that. But still, we continued praying because now. But again, I clocked 40, 41, and I was like, yeah, I think, wacha tu sasa nikubali tu, you know, I'm here to bless others. And yeah, I think I'd gotten to that point of just saying, yes, I accept. That is it. And then I work in Mozambique. And this time I'm going to process, I was supposed to process for my visa, and one of the requirements is a complete medical checkup. So I get to hospital, I do the blood works, that is the very first one, and then I do the chest x-ray. And before the radiographer sends me for mammogram, she says, sit down, we need to talk a bit. When is your last period? And when I said the date, she says, hey, you're 2 weeks late. And I'm like, yeah, that's not news to me. Yeah, I'm not even bothered. I know I'm late and I'm not bothered because it's kawa, you know. When I have a lot of work, a lot of stress, it just delays. That's kawaida. And she says, I'm required to test for pregnancy. I say, yeah, that's your requirement, but I want to assure you there's nothing.
You were so sure.
I was so sure, by the way. I was so sure there's nothing. Ni kawaida, when I'm stressed, my periods just delay. Na zitakuja when they are ready to come, when my stress just go, you know. I have no issue with that. And she just insists and says, I can't send you for mammogram. My boss will actually quarrel me if I send you without that pregnancy test. So I tell her, just do it. But yeah, it's not a concern for me. Do you know, wonder of wonders, the doctor calls me later, like 15 minutes later, and says, now starts questioning me, maswali zile za clinic, mzuri tu, for how long have you been married, have you ever been pregnant, when is your last period, and I'm like, where is this heading? Then he says, you know, we've just done the test and you're pregnant.
How was that?
You know, I even laughed and asked, how?
You couldn't believe it.
No, I didn't. I was like, no, are you sure? Did you confirm? In my head, I'm like, there are some false positives sometimes. So, but he was so sure. So I walk out of the doctor's office and I call him.
Of course.
And I say, hey, they're telling me I'm pregnant. Not like they're telling me here I'm pregnant. Do you know? He just said, amen, we thank God. He didn't even doubt. It's not like me. I think I'm like, okay, that's fine. When I come, we'll talk. And he was so sure. He didn't even doubt it. Wow. So we he got me a gyna who now was to start checking me. And she says, it's too early, I can't see anything, come back after 3 weeks. And we get back and say, yeah, I can see something. And that's when I'm like, okay, kumbe it was serious.
So it hits home now.
Yeah. But that's after 16 years in marriage.
16 years.
Yes, 16
of
years.
waiting and praying.
Yes.
Yeah, I think also friends have played a very great role in prayers. We trust that this is God's working.
It is.
Totally 100%. It's God's working. It's a miracle from God. And it has been a lot through prayers. And the friends have been praying with us. We have prayer warriors who prayed for us. And God has answered the prayer.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And we believe that this baby will be a baby.
A testimony.
And we'll have a ministry because of her.
Yes, that's important to like appreciate the fact that this is not in vain.
It's not.
Yeah. You have to make something out of this. I'll come back to you and try and understand your pregnancy journey, especially after struggling with, the waiting and all this medication that you are taking. How was it for you being pregnant at 42 years? How was it?
This was very smooth.
Good.
Why didn't I know I'm pregnant? I never had nausea.
No morning sickness?
Nothing.
How lucky can one woman get?
So when they're telling me I'm pregnant, I'm like, what? There's nothing to show that I'm pregnant. I never experienced, those typical pregnancy symptoms. I never had them. I didn't have nausea. I didn't have vomiting. I got tired towards the end, which is normal because the baby had grown. But I was working normal. I didn't really have
She was eating food.
There is no food I didn't eat.
No cravings whatsoever?
No.
Cravings. Once I craved, I rarely take soda because of the sugar. But I craved soda one time. I remember I just called and said, hey, I need Fanta, orange, and bread.
Where? Here, konikari.
True. That was twice the entire pregnancy. So that time in the early stages, I think it was in the first trimester. So he had to organize someone to bring that for me in the house. And then the second time also it happened, I think the second trimester. I also called him again and said, hey, that thing has come. I just want Fanta. And I said, specifically look for Elliot's bread.
Yeah, thank God, because the pregnancy journey was smooth.
Very.
There was no serious craving like that one. You can be told, you remember when you passed through Mozambique, that thing that we ate, I want it. She didn't.
Yeah, you would have gone to Mozambique,
He would have gone. He would have.
Hey, you would have gone. And then, so after the journey, of course, there comes the day of delivery. Tell us how that transpired. What happened?
The delivery was planned. At 32 weeks. The doctor noted my baby's breech, and but the doctor told me we still have time. 32, we still have time. The baby can turn, but it's important for you to note the baby's breech. So at 36 weeks, I get to the doctor again, and they confirm now this baby is breech and engaged.
Oh, Lord.
And he tried to disengage the legs, but it was not possible. So he just said, we have to plan for the delivery. There are these options and you choose. We have normal delivery. If you insist on the normal delivery, you have to sign and take responsibility. Then we have which is the other one? There were 3 actually. I can't remember the other one. Oh yeah, the second one is we can try to turn the baby manually, like someone actually tries to do it, but it is also risky.
Yeah.
And then the third one is CS. This one your baby will come out. So I'm told the pros and cons of each, and we decided for CS. So that was planned.
Yes.
We get to hospital the night before. The following morning, I'm taken to theater. He's allowed to come in to offer me support. And the baby comes out.
The first cry.
Yes, I was so happy.
You were not numbed through?
No. I was spinal anesthesia. That is the one I had. So they even showed me, here's your baby. I was excited. Yeah, that was fun.
How was it for you watching your wife and now you have a baby coming out?
It was not easy because it was my first time to be in theater with my wife, and seeing all the procedure. It was not very easy.
Now she finds out. You're looking at her like you're finding out now.
I was really excited because I was waiting for the baby to come out, and then the baby came out. I said, wow, this is God. And the baby cried, and that is wow. And I was the first one to hold the baby, and I thanked God for that.
Do you know, before we got to theater, I think because of waiting, 16 years, 4 months is not a short time. I remember when they're preparing me for theater, throughout that night and that morning, just before I got in, anyone who was coming in, and I was telling, please, I've waited for this baby for 16 years. Take care of my baby.
Wow.
Everyone, the anesthesiologist, the doctor, the assistant doctor who came, the nurses, was just, please, as I go to theater, please take care of my baby. But I think it's God who takes care. But then, of course, I was a bit anxious, and I think it's justified. So I was like, anything can happen, but please. And of course, the prayers. Many people prayed for us that morning, called and prayed. Yeah. Yeah, so when I got out and saw my baby, I was really happy. I think I shed tears just looking at my baby for the first time.
Who does she look like more? Is it daddy or mom? Or a blend of both?
Maybe you tell us.
you can look and tell us.
That's a clever answer. There's a couple out there who's watching you and wondering, now we're struggling, with infertility issues and we're getting the pressure from the society. What advice would you tell them?
I think I'll begin by saying, one, what I am now a crusader of, it didn't begin now when I'm pregnant. During the waiting, I learned that there's a lot of stigma and discrimination, especially when people see that you 3, 4, 5 years in marriage and you've not gotten a child. So you're automatically labeled barren or infertile. And I, as a Christian, and also in my experience, I don't believe they're infertile people or barren. I've come to believe they're just waiting for the right time. So I'm no longer using the term infertile or infertility or barren. This is a term I'm crusading against because it is discriminatory, it is derogatory in its own way. And I would encourage anyone watching, please don't use this term because there are no infertile people. They're just waiting for their time.
As they wait, what should they do, especially when the pressure piles up on the woman, for instance?
Whenever anyone asked me, what are you waiting for? Do you have a problem? I could just tell them, have you asked God?
Wow, that's powerful.
I remember even my mother-in-law asked me, and I said, Mom, have you asked God? Because I don't have the power to give myself children. It is clearly written, they're a reward. They're a reward from God. They're given of the Lord. So if you think there's a question you need to, please ask God. You'll get an answer. That helped me a great deal.
Number one, there are vows we make during marriage.
Yes.
And I think always we should go back to those vows. Because you say in goodness, in
good health and bad.
Sickness, So even when children are not there, you should also stand by your spouse. Because you took a vow. The greatest encouragement, the greatest strength that I got is knowing that I think it's Psalms 27 verse 3 that says that children are a heritage from the Lord.
Yes.
The fruit of the womb is a reward from the Lord. So it's God who decides when to reward you or not to reward you because of his own purpose. I believe the case of Anna is written in the Bible to encourage us. The case of Abraham is written in the Bible for encouragement that you can be a father of many nations even at 99 and above. God can reward you with children, not even a child, with children. And I believe we are going to have children.
Of course.
This is just the firstborn. So,
Amen.
God is God.
Yes.
At his fullness of time, wait for him. For men, I think let's not bow to the pressure from the society. Because many times what makes it very difficult for the ladies is when a man succumbs to pressure from the society, from friends, from parents. Know that this is your family. It is not anybody's family. It is you who came up with this family. You decided to come together, to unite together as a family. So live together as a family, whether you have children or you don't have children. It is not defined that a family must have children. Two people, a man and a woman, when they come together as husband and wife, that's a family.
Yes.
Complete.
So accept what God gives. I think the greatest strength that we can get, men, is to trust God. When you trust God, you can live happily even without children.
Yeah.
If it comes to the point that you really want to have children and you're not able to get children, then adopt. Then adopt a child and you stay together. But the greatest thing is that you agree, the two of you.
Yeah.
That this is the course that we want to take. Because you must take responsibilities also when you adopt a child. So I think for men, take heart when you don't have a child. In marriage, we don't compete. We don't compete that so and so, we were schooling together, he has 10 children, and so I should also have 3. No, it is God who gives. God rewarded that one with 10 children. Thank God for that. God has not rewarded you with any child. Thank God, because maybe you have a spouse and you're living happy. So I think let's accept what God gives, and that is the greatest.
You mentioned earlier that because of this story, you've decided you'll come up with a ministry. Please tell us more about that and what's your plan?
Yeah, we want to encourage couples who are struggling. I believe those 16 years waiting, they were not very easy as such because these pressures we were meeting them. But now how we were responding to them is what made us to be victorious, because God was with us. He was leading us all the way. So we want this child to be a blessing to couples who have been waiting for so long, so that we can tell them that true, this is a testimony that God can reward you even at whatever age. So keep waiting upon the Lord. That's why we want to start this ministry with this baby, to be a great encouragement to couples. And also to men, to be a great encouragement that not necessarily that you have to have a child, but if God rewards you with a child, thank him for that.
She's a living testimony. That's what I call her, a living testimony. You want to know God answers prayers? Look at her. And just know that she is an answered prayer. So God gave us a living testimony, and we have to share this testimony.
Right.
Yeah.
If a couple out there, or a woman or a man, would like to reach out to you, is there a number or Facebook page? How can they reach you to probably get encouragement or a word of advice?
Yeah, we can give our mobile phone numbers. If they want to reach us,
Okay.
they can freely reach us.
Okay, please share your number.
Yeah, my phone number is 0724 770 500.
Okay.
0724 770 500. Dickson Nyabuga. My wife's number is 0720 561 760. 0720 561 760.
Okay.
Judy Nyabuga.
Great.
Yeah.
Now I want you to tell your wife one word. What would you want her to know about what you think of her? With all that journey having walked, you probably have never had a chance, or probably umemwambia. But now let's be the witness of you telling her what you think about this journey and how far you've come. What would you want her to know?
Yeah.
Please face her.
Let me tell you.
Let me turn.
I still love you the same way I loved you
It's
the
not
first
news.
day. I love you.
you.
And this far, the Lord has brought us. And the remaining part of the journey, God will be with us. So let's keep hold on God. We are going to have many babies.
Amen.
This is the firstborn. There are others coming.
Amen.
We trust God.
Amen.
Let's keep the love
Thank you.
running.
Thank you.
Now you tell your hubby something sweet also. We want to hear.
Thank you, sweetheart, for being a loving, honest, and the most kind husband. Please know that I love you, and God is with us in this journey. Just as He's been with us in the past, He's with us now, and He will be with us in the future.
Oh, this is nice. Me, I just want to be married again.
Baby blessing.
Yes.
You are a gift from God. You are so beautiful. Wow. You are going to be a great vessel in God's vineyard. You are going to be a great encouragement to people. You are going to be a great testimony to couples. So may God bless you to grow up in His ways.
Amen.
Baba, you're the most beautiful baby I've ever seen. Thank you for being my womb opener. Know that you're blessed. You'll be the leader of your generation. You'll be anointed of God to walk in His ways and lead others to Him. You will be the head and not the tail. Know that others will look up to you. You will be you will be an encouragement, great encouragement to everyone else. Daddy and Mommy loves you so much. Just know that. Rest knowing that we are here for you at all times, any moment. We love you, Baba.
Oh, thank you, guys. Wow, I'm so honored. Thank you so much for allowing us to come to your house and sharing with us your journey of how you've come and all the challenges that you encountered and how you braved them to get to where you are right now. Even for encouraging couples out there who are still struggling and waiting as they struggle with these pressures from the society. Thank you for encouraging them. And we thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for staying till the end of the show. My name is Yvonne Kawira, and until next time, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.